Have you ever been magnetically, almost painfully, pulled towards someone you knew was emotionally unavailable? You get caught in that frustrating loop of hope and disappointment, and it feels like an addiction you just cannot shake. You find yourself checking your phone, waiting for a reply that might never come. When it finally does, you get a rush of euphoria, but it is almost always followed by the crushing low of being left unread again. It is a roller coaster that leaves you exhausted and wondering what is wrong with you. Well, it is not a lack of willpower, and you are not crazy. There is a very real scientific reason your brain gets hooked on inconsistent affection. This is not just a simple crush. It is a deep-seated psychological process. Today, we are going to break down the neurochemical cocktail that keeps you chasing people who do not want you back. And I will walk you through the steps to finally break that cycle for good. This pattern is way more than just bad luck in love. It is a powerful emotional and psychological trap. It all starts with an intense infatuation, a state psychologists call limerence. Let us be clear. This is not love. Love is built on mutual care, respect, and stability. Limerence, on the other hand, is an involuntary, obsessive state of wanting, desperately wanting, someone to return your feelings. And it thrives on one thing: uncertainty. The whole experience is a series of dizzying highs and crushing lows. The highs come from the smallest signs of their attention: a random text, a shared glance, a brief moment of connection. These little breadcrumbs feel like a promise of something more, and they fill you with a dangerous amount of hope. But then comes the inevitable low: the silence, the canceled plans, the emotional distance. This is the crash. It sends you spiraling, analyzing every single interaction, trying to figure out what you did wrong. You might find yourself compulsively checking their social media, rereading old messages, and creating elaborate fantasies about a future that is not based in reality. This cycle is exhausting, and it is incredibly damaging to your self-esteem. You start to believe that their affection is a prize you have to win, and if you just try a little harder or say the right thing, you can finally earn it. This feeling of your happiness depending entirely on someone else's unpredictable whims is the very heart of the obsession. And as we are about to see, your brain is wired to fall right into this trap. So, why does this feel so much like an addiction? Because on a chemical level, it pretty much is. The answer lies in a powerful mix of your brain chemistry and your earliest life experiences. First, let us talk about what is going on in your brain. The main culprit here is a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, but it is more accurately the chemical of motivation and, crucially, anticipation. Its release is most powerful not when you get a reward consistently, but when the reward is completely unpredictable. This is a principle known as intermittent reinforcement. Think of it like playing a slot machine. You do not win every time, but the random, occasional payout keeps you pulling that lever, hooked on the possibility of a win. The chase is often more thrilling than the prize itself. An emotionally unavailable person puts your brain in the exact same state. Their hot and cold affection is the slot machine. Every time they throw you a crumb of attention, your brain gets a hit of dopamine, reinforcing your desire to keep chasing that high. At the same time, other chemicals are stirring the pot. Norepinephrine jacks up your anxiety and excitement, making your heart race. And to make matters worse, your serotonin levels can dip, a pattern also seen in obsessive-compulsive disorder, which may help explain those intrusive, looping thoughts about the person that you just cannot turn off. But this brain chemistry does not exist in a vacuum. It is deeply influenced by your personal history, specifically your attachment style, developed in early childhood. Our attachment style is the internal rulebook our brain wrote for how we connect with others. If you had caregivers who were inconsistent, sometimes warm and loving, other times distant or unresponsive, you may have developed what is called an anxious attachment style. As an adult, this can leave you craving closeness while also living with a constant, nagging fear of abandonment. Your nervous system learned that this pattern of inconsistency is normal, maybe even familiar. So when you meet someone who is emotionally unavailable, their unpredictable behavior feels strangely like home. You are subconsciously drawn to partners who recreate the emotional dynamics you grew up with because, on some level, your brain is trying to go back and fix that old wound. You are trying to finally win the love you were never quite sure you had. This is why the attraction feels so intense and fated, even when it is causing you so much pain. It is not just about them. It is about a pattern your brain learned a long, long time ago. Understanding the why is half the battle, but real freedom comes from taking action. Breaking free from this obsessive loop is not just about getting over them. It is about treating an addiction. You have to detox your brain from the chemical roller coaster it has been on. The single most important, and honestly, the hardest step is the no contact rule. This is your rehab. By cutting off all contact, you starve your brain of the intermittent rewards it has become hooked on. No texting, no calling, and yes, no checking their social media. This is not to punish them. It is to reclaim your emotional independence and give your brain's reward system a chance to reset. Be ready, because you will experience withdrawal. You will likely feel intense anxiety, sadness, and an overwhelming urge to reach out. That is a sign that the detox is working. The cravings will get better over time as your brain heals. While you are going no contact, you need to actively fight the fantasy. Limerence thrives on imagination. You have probably built an idealized version of this person in your head, ignoring all the red flags. So grab a piece of paper and get real. Write down the facts of the situation. List their flaws, the times they let you down, and exactly how their inconsistency made you feel. This exercise in cognitive reframing helps you see them as a real, flawed person, not the perfect fantasy you have been obsessing over. Next, you have to find healthier ways to get that dopamine hit. Your brain is craving a reward, so give it one, but on your own terms. Take all that incredible energy you were pouring into this obsession and pour it back into your own life. This is the time for radical self-care. Start a new workout routine to get those endorphins flowing. Finally, start that creative hobby you have been putting off. Reconnect with supportive friends and family. People who give you the consistent care and validation you have been missing. These actions create new, healthier neural pathways, teaching your brain that happiness does not have to come from an unpredictable, outside source. Finally, focus on building your self-worth from the inside out. This whole pattern often starts because we believe our value is determined by someone else choosing us. Start practicing self-validation. Acknowledge your own strengths, celebrate your small victories, and be compassionate with yourself. Remind yourself as many times as you need to that your worth is inherent and not up for debate. Seeking support from a therapist can be a game changer here, as they can give you tools like cognitive behavioral therapy to challenge those deep-seated beliefs and build healthier relationship patterns. The magnetic pull toward people who do not want you is not a sign that you are broken. It is a powerful psychological and biological response, rooted in your brain's reward system and your earliest experiences with love. The obsession is a symptom, not a personal failure, and it is a cycle that you absolutely have the power to break. By understanding the science, recognizing the pattern in your life, and taking deliberate steps to heal, you can stop the chase. You can rewire your brain to find peace and stability, not chaos, and to build relationships founded on mutual respect and real connection. The journey starts the moment you decide to choose yourself over the possibility of being chosen by someone else. If this resonated with you, you are definitely not alone. So many people go through this exact experience, often in silence. Share your story, or what part of this connected with you the most, in the comments below. Let us support each other in breaking this cycle and moving toward the healthier, happier love we all